the teams in our mailing list. And apologies for the noise in the background. I'm a typical urban farmer. If you hear some chicken making some noise, just bear with me. But I'll try as much as I can to mute myself. So, and let us also adopt the same attitude so that as we listen to the presentations, let's mute our videos, let's mute our cameras or our microphones so that we don't disrupt the schedule of activities. So feel free, welcome. So I'll relay to Oliver now. Oliver, for the official welcome, and give a small background between the Kenya and the India ties.
Okay, thank you very much, Edwin. Welcome, team, and welcome everybody. We are waiting for a bigger team to also join in the corporate guys and also the farmers and other stakeholders. But very briefly, I'm Oliver Ndegwa. I'm a director of M Advisory Africa. I'm also a director of AgroTunnel International. And we are the pioneers of smart agriculture in Kenya and greenhouses. Because of the challenges that farmers are facing in Africa, we thought of coming up with a concept for kitchen garden farming for the last 5 years. Now, because of this COVID, we thought of bringing in technology transfer from our partners from India. And you have seen the Indian modeling greens from India, whereby I'm going to invite them to do the presentation of the model they have in India so that we can hear them. And we will also have our team from Kenya, Wangari, we will produce also to present. We will also have Edwin to give us a presentation on the NGO component in agriculture, to listen to us, our concept, and to see how it will work for both you and your neighbors and your friends. We are looking at a model whereby we are going to work with Equity Bank Foundation and other corporate solutions, whereby there's a lot of funding coming into to Kenya on through Mastercard, whereby they are giving the component of agribusiness and urban farming. We'll be having subsequent meetings that will be informed. So today, because of the timing, we have about 2 hours on this meeting, but we want to give opportunity to our team from India, Mr. Pratik, to come on board and introduce his team and also start the presentation. So we give the mic to
And our colleagues, please mute your microphones. I don't want to mute everybody. So Pratik, please proceed. And you have the right to share your screen.
Thank you very much, Edwin. Thank you very much, Oliver. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to be a part of this group. I am extremely excited, not just to talk about our product, but more importantly, to talk about our dreams, because I have observed and read that while products could be constrained by boundaries, dreams can never be constrained by any geographical boundaries. I sincerely hope that the dream with which we started Living Greens here in India, I sincerely hope that many more eminent people like you, many more passionate entrepreneurs like you would become a part of that dream. And today I'm taking this opportunity to share that dream with you. Before moving on, I would like to give a very small, brief introduction about myself. My name is Pratik Tiwari. I'm the founder and CEO of Living Greens. By my education, I am an agriculture engineer, and I have done my master's in international business, and I have served with large agribusiness companies here in India, like Reliance Fresh, ITC, and lastly, I was working with Walmart India. I am joined by Dr. Preeti Tiwari. She is a Chief Information Officer, and everything that you see about Living Greens on the internet is because of the backbreaking and hard work of Dr. Preeti Tiwari. She joins me today to share the Living Greens dream with you. With that, I would like to now share my presentation on the screen. Edwin or Oliver, could you please confirm that my screen is visible to everybody?
Yes, I can confirm. However, put it on slideshow so that it fills up the entire screen. Thank you. That's better.
Thank you, Edwin. So we are the Living Greens, and we are India's first and largest urban organic farming company. We are covering more than 200,000 square feet of rooftop area in India under organic farming. We have over 800 clients spread across 22 cities. We have an accumulated experience of almost 8 years in urban organic farming. I'm extremely proud of the fact that when we started our journey in the year 2013, we were just a handful of people, and you'll be surprised to know that besides me, no one else had any formal education in agriculture. I had a group of young people who had moved from the rural areas to my city. They were looking for a job. I shared my ideas with them. I told them, why can't we do farming on rooftops? They were all excited. They said, we don't know anything about agriculture. But I said, let's start walking on this journey. I'm extremely proud to share with you that after 8 years, those young men who had migrated from the rural areas to my city, those young men who started as raw, just as with raw energy, those young men today are considered to be the best urban organic farming experts in the entire country. I'm very proud to be a part of the most experienced and the best urban organic farming team in India. We are also working with local governments in India to make smart cities smarter. There are a lot of governments in India which are now subsidizing, they're offering up to 50% subsidy on rooftop farming, because more and more governments here in India have started realizing that urban organic farming or rooftop farming is not just about growing food on the rooftops. There are other benefits to it. Two major benefits besides growing food. There are two more benefits. One is that you are cooling the building by creating a natural green cover, so that you're reducing the carbon footprint of the building, you're reducing the energy consumption of the building. And the other major benefit is, like I shared with you, that I started with this raw team from the rural areas, young people from the rural areas, and today they have become urban organic farming experts. Urban organic farming can lead to job creation within the city, particularly for those urban unemployed youth who have a rural background, but when they come to the city, they don't have any idea what kind of a job would be available to them. And then there are different skill sets that are required for getting urban jobs. But urban organic farming can prove to be an excellent option for creating jobs for the urban unemployed youth. So we are talking about growing safe and fresh vegetables on the rooftop. The rooftops, whether it is about cities in India or anywhere in the world, um, almost every growing city is now becoming, it's spreading like an octopus. The concrete jungles are now replacing the lush green farms. But unfortunately, the rooftops of the houses, of the buildings, they are lying redundant. So when we started this journey almost 8 years ago, we just asked a simple question. Isn't it time to bring back the farms onto the concrete jungles? So we started with the simple dream of growing safe and fresh vegetables on the rooftop. Now, uh, when we started with very primitive methods. We were filling all sorts of containers with soil, with compost, with coconut fiber, all sorts of very primitive ideas we were working with. So we had very basic, very rudimentary, and very primitive beginnings. But I am very proud to share with you that over these 8 years, we have created a very innovative and a very unique product, which is called a portable farming system. Now, a portable farming system can be installed on rooftops or in kitchen gardens or in empty plots, and you can grow abundant quantity of organic vegetables on the rooftop. Over these 8 years, I have come across hundreds of people who always ask the same question: can we really grow vegetables these boards on his rooftop? And there is the picture is quite evident that we can grow a lot of organic vegetables on the rooftop. Now, the portable farming system is filled with a unique soilless organic medium. Right from day one, we took it as a challenge to replace soil completely with an organic soilless medium. It sounds very simple, but it has taken us 8 years to create an organic soilless medium, which is crop agnostic. What this means is that you can grow any kind of seasonal vegetable in this organic medium. And this is really the heart of our product. Now, this also means that the organic medium that we create here in India can be sent across to any city in the world, and fresh organic vegetables can be grown in this unique soilless organic medium. Now, the simple question that you may have in your mind is, why did we go for a soilless medium? The answer is very simple. The rooftop of any building is not supposed to be a load-bearing structure. If it is not a load-bearing structure, then if we spread wet soil on the rooftop, then we would be causing a considerable amount of damage to the rooftop. This is the reason why from day one, we decided to take it as a challenge and to create a very lightweight and extremely porous and a highly fertile soilless organic medium. I would like to just share a scientific trivia with you. Nature takes almost 55 years to create the topsoil in which our farmer grows the vegetable on land. Now, what happens in those 55 years, we have tried to imitate here in this soilless organic medium. And we are proud to share with you that we are working with almost, we are working in almost every agroclimatic condition in India, and our portable farming systems have delivered at each and every place. The container that you see at the bottom, this is a leak-proof container. It is protected from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. This is extremely important because if we are using any plastic container, the ultraviolet rays of the sun makes the plastic brittle. So we have intentionally chosen a fabric which is UV protected, which is protected from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. Another very important thing that I would like to emphasize on is that these containers are completely leak-proof. They are leak-proof simply because of the fact that the joints of these containers do not have any heat seals. This means that Generally, the grow bags or similar containers that are available on marketplaces like Amazon or eBay, those grow bags have got heat seal joints. So when you put those grow bags with heat seal joints on the rooftop, due to the variation of temperature on the rooftop, the heat seal joints become weak. And because of that, leakages start happening. And you definitely do not want to have a leaking container on your rooftop. It has taken us many years to create a design of this container in which there is no heat sealing required. And this also means that our joints, the joints of our container, are absolutely leak proof for a very long time. There's a very wide variety of seasonal organic vegetables that we have grown. As I mentioned, we have been working in almost every agroclimatic zone of India, and there are many, many agroclimatic zones here in India. We have been able to grow a wide variety of seasonal organic vegetables on the rooftop. Now, the reason why I'm emphasizing on this point is just to let you know that we now have the accumulated knowledge to guide anybody across the world to grow that wide variety of seasonal organic vegetables. We have been through multiple growing cycles of those seasonal organic vegetables. And hence, through our online support system, which I'll be talking shortly about, through our online support system, we are able to support our customers anywhere in India, and using the same methodology, we can now support customers anywhere across the world. A very important thing that we need to keep in mind when we are doing urban organic farming is that there must be a highly efficient subsurface drainage system which ensures every single drop of extra water to get drained out from the containers. This is extremely important. Please remember that vegetable plants require an equal proportion of moisture as well as air. You cannot grow vegetable plants if the roots are submerged in water, if the plants are growing in a container which does not have a highly efficient subsurface drainage system. Now, our subsurface, as we started with very primitive beginnings, just like every product, just like the portable farming system has evolved over these 8 years, similarly, the efficiency and the design of a subsurface drainage system has also improved to such an extent that even in very, very high rainfall areas, it takes less than 30 minutes for the entire water to get drained out, even in the highest rainfall areas in India. So the subsurface drainage system, the efficiency of the subsurface drainage system has been tried and tested multiple times over these 8 years. So what we are talking about is growing and selling fresh organic vegetables in the heart of the city. The portable farming system also comes with its drip irrigation system. Now, the drip irrigation system can be both automatic as well as manual. We are talking about training urban youth to become urban organic growers. Another important thing is that the portable farming system is not just restricted to be put on the rooftop. It can be put even on ground, and it can be put in kitchen garden. It can be put in empty plots, anywhere where open space is available. Now, the important thing is that for growing vegetables, we always request that please put the portable farming system at a place where 4 hours of uninterrupted sunlight is available for 12 months of the year. That is the sunlight requirement for growing vegetable plants. So we are not just talking about creating urban organic growers, we are also talking about creating urban organic consumers. So as I said, our dream is to create urban organic consumers and urban organic agripreneurs in cities who are going to grow organic vegetables on rooftops. It could be individual rooftops. It could be large rooftops of buildings like schools, malls, hospitals, even government offices, any large building. And the urban organic farmers or urban organic agripreneurs can convert those large rooftops into commercial rooftop farms. And that can happen inside the city. So we are talking about creating the shortest supply chain of vegetables in the world. We have heard about the conventional supply chain model, which is called the farm to fork model. Now we are talking about bringing the farm and fork so close to each other that there is a zero carbon footprint in moving the vegetable from farm to fork. So we are also talking about zero food miles when we are talking about commercial urban organic farming on large rooftops. Now, besides growing vegetables, there are other benefits that I talked about. Research has revealed that the building becomes cooler by 6 to 7 degrees. Now, what this also means that if the building has become cooler by 6 to 7 degrees, your electricity bill can be slashed, it can be reduced to up to 25%. Now, this may not have a lot of significance for an individual house, but this can be very, very important saving for a large building like a school or a hospital or an office or a mall where the electricity bill is very high. So reducing 1/4 of that electricity bill could result in considerable amount of savings. We are also talking about water efficiency, water conservation. Over these 8 years, we have observed that the water required to grow fresh organic vegetables on the rooftop in a portable farming system is just 25% of the water that would have been required by a farmer on land, which means that if the farmer on land is using 100 liters of water to grow 1 kg of organic vegetable, on the rooftop using a portable farming system, you can grow the same 1 kg of organic vegetable with just 25 liters of water. So from 100 liters of water, you're bringing down the water consumption to just 25 liters of water. I talked about zero food miles. It's also about reducing your food bill. Now, besides the portable farming system, we have also created an organic gardening kit, which is required for the pest and disease and nutrient management of the organic vegetable plants. Now, this is again a very innovative product. Nobody else in the world makes this. A very unique thing about the organic gardening kit, as you can see in the picture, it contains these different bottles, and each bottle is named after the day of a week. So we have a Monday bottle, Tuesday bottle, Wednesday bottle. Please remember that when we are talking about organic farming, in organic farming, we don't have any toxic chemicals that can be used to kill the pests or reduce the disease. We have very, very mild methods. We have very mild inputs. We have very mild applications in organic farming. And hence those mild applications have to be applied on a daily basis. That's the reason why we have created an organic gardening kit in which each specific bottle has been given the day, has been named after the day of a week. So which means that on Monday, you have to spray the Monday, the liquid from the Monday bottle. On Tuesday, you have to spray the liquid from the Tuesday bottle. On Wednesday, you have to spray the liquid from the Wednesday bottle, and so on. Now, you'll be surprised to know that each of these bottles, you can see that they are filled with some brownish liquid or dark brown liquid. You'll be surprised to know that many of these liquids are as alive as you and me. For example, in the Monday bottle, we are using a fungus called Bavaria bassiana. It's a live fungus. It comes in a liquid form, but it's very, very effective in killing all kinds of pests. Almost 90% of the pests are killed by this particular fungus, which is called Bavaria bassiana, which comes in a Monday bottle. So this organic gardening kit comes along with the portable farming system. And the third offering is a 24/7 online support system, which basically consists of 3 parts. We create a WhatsApp group and directly connect with our clients here in India. Internationally, we partner with companies which are experts in ICT. For example, Oliver is the director is the director of M Advisory, and M Advisory is an expert in ICT. So we partner with such companies across the world so that we can offer our online support system through them. Besides the online platform, which could be a WhatsApp group or any other online platform, we have created a library of instructional videos. We make it a point never to offer instructions as texts. We don't offer textual instructions. All our instructions are conveyed through videos, and these specific videos have been created by our company. We have a digital library of 31 videos, which can be used at different stages, which can be shared with the client at different stages of growth of the vegetable. Besides videos, we have lots of schematic charts, lots of schematic diagrams. As I said, we try and keep our instructions as visual as possible. These are a few examples, a few samples of what we call charts. So these are called vegetable sowing chart. We have shown two different kinds of vegetable sowing charts. And under each vegetable sowing chart, we have visually shown that for which particular vegetable is this chart relevant. So under each chart, you can see the vegetable for which that particular planting pattern has to be followed. So this is a way by which even a client sitting in Nairobi or a person sitting in Nairobi can be guided by us. If he wants to grow pumpkin and portable farming system, we just send across this vegetable sowing chart and he understands the placement of the 8 seeds of pumpkin that he has to put in the portable farming system. Similarly, if he wants to grow leafy vegetables like spinach or coriander, then we send the vegetable sowing chart at the right. And this conveniently tells him how he has to put the seeds of the leafy vegetables. These are other kind of charts. This is a very important chart. Now in this chart, I just want you to focus on the 3 colors that you see here. So there is a brown color, there's a fluorescent green color, and there's a dark green color. The brown color tells you what are those months or what are those fortnights, very specifically, what are those fortnights where you can do seed sowing of the vegetable. That means you can start the vegetable life cycle using seed. Now the fluorescent green color shows what are those months or what are those fortnights when you will have to not a seed. And the third color, excuse me, could I request everybody to put the connection on mute, please? Thank you. So the dark green color depicts the harvest period of each vegetable. So these kind of charts for different seasons we have created for different vegetables. Just by sharing the chart with our customers in different cities, the client can understand at what time of the year he or she can grow which particular seasonal vegetable. So lots of information has been put together in a very, very visual manner in this chart. We also have very, very specifically documented annual production figures for a wide variety of vegetables. In the leftmost column, you see the names of the vegetables, and in the rightmost column, you can see that if you're growing cabbage in one portable farming system, this is the quantity you get, 8, and you can and the same production figures have been mentioned for all the vegetables that can be grown in the winter season here in India. Now, talking about creating jobs from urban organic farming, that is our dream. By the way, these 2 young men that you see here, they are those same young men with whom I started this journey 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago in March 2013. And I'm very proud to share with you that today they are the best urban organic farming experts in the entire country of India. Now, I would like to reveal a very, very unique model on which we are working here in India. It's called the Fresh model, and we are talking about bringing the Uber model in agriculture. Now, in the City Fresh model, we are talking about creating an online platform, which is called City Fresh, on which urban organic farmers can interact with urban organic users. Now, this drastically changes the way we purchase our vegetables today. Today, we purchase vegetables from shops or from markets, but using the City Fresh model, we want to bring a drastic change in that model. And the new model that the new City Fresh model will mean that people can buy freshly harvested organic vegetables from urban organic farmers in the vicinity of their houses. That means you're plucking the vegetable directly from the plant. So on the left side, we have revealed what the roles of an urban organic farmer are going to be. So on the City Fresh model, the urban organic farmer can upload information about his organic vegetable. He can indicate the stage of the growth of the vegetable. He can indicate the sale price of the vegetable. He can invite urban consumers close to his urban farm to come and visit his urban organic farm. And he can also offer door delivery to his urban consumers. On the right hand side, on the right bottom, in the box, we have revealed what are the facilities that are available to an urban organic user on the City Fresh platform. So an urban organic user can search for the closest urban organic farmer. That means who is growing what in the vicinity of her house. The second thing is that the urban organic user can directly connect with the urban organic farmer and share his or her requirement of vegetables on a regular basis through this online platform with his urban organic farmer. And he can also visit the urban organic farm of his urban organic farmer. So we are talking about creating an ecosystem inside a city. We are talking about creating multiple clusters of urban organic farming where using this online platform, the urban organic farmer is getting connected to the urban organic user. We are dreaming of a day when you would not have to buy vegetables from a shop because what you're buying from the shop had been harvested 24 hours ago. What you're buying from the shop could have been grown using toxic chemicals. We are dreaming of a day when you can go and pluck fresh organic vegetables from a rooftop farm, which is just walking distance, just a few paces away from your house. That's that's a dream that we are working on. Now, the maths of the City Fresh model is very simple. If we are talking about one single urban organic farm, should be about 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. You can put about 50 portable farming system. So on one organic farm, one urban organic farm, you can put 50 portable farming system if the rooftop area available is about 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. And the annual production of organic vegetables from an urban organic farm could be about 3,000 to about 4,000 kgs. And the number of urban organic farmers that can be trained and employed on an urban organic farm are 10. That means 10 unemployed urban youth can be trained and handed over an urban organic farm. That means they can manage 10 young people trained in urban organic farming can manage to grow 3,000 to 4,000 kg from an urban organic farm. The impact of the City Fresh model. Now, in this, we have assumed that in a city, there could be 100 urban organic farms. So if there are 100 urban organic farms, we are talking about giving employment to 1,000 urban unemployed youth. We are talking about creating a green cover of more than 30,000 square feet, 30 to 40,000 square feet on the rooftops. And we are talking about an annual vegetable production of 350,000 to 400,000 kgs in a city in which we can create about 100 urban organic farms. Now, the stakeholders in the City Fresh model are very simple. We have the urban youth who shall be trained to grow and deliver freshly harvested organic vegetables to the urban organic user. Then we'll have the urban organic user on the right, this pretty lady who's going to be the consumer for the organic vegetable. She's going to order the organic vegetables from the urban farmer who's connected with her through the City Fresh platform. She's going to receive those freshly harvested organic vegetables, and she's going to consume it. She's going to offer it to her children, to her family members. Now, in order to make this all happen, we are looking for infrastructure partners. It could be international donors. It could be the government. It could be the corporate social responsibility teams of large corporations. Those are the three stakeholders that could make the City Fresh model work. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Once again, I share my dream with you. I invite you to participate, to become stakeholders in my dream. And my dream is to create 1 million organic homes across the world. Thank you very much for your attention. And with this, I hand over the mic back to Edwin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pratik. That's a very nice and enlightening presentation, inspiring, not enlightening, inspiring presentation. I will ask the participants, for the sake of time, to post their questions in the chat box. After the 3 presentations are done, then we can have about a 10 minutes question and answer session. Is it possible for us to proceed without having the disruption of people answering their phones while their microphones are on? So let's just exercise that discipline. So Dr. Pratik, thank you so much. The questions will come later and probably through the chat box, and then we will give people an opportunity to raise their hands and ask questions. So members, allow me to invite Madam Wangare. Madam Wangare has a very interesting presentation, and this is what we want to hear also on her experiences. So Madam Wangare, are you able to share your screen? Kindly introduce yourself and share your screen.
Please read the confirmation from Wangari. Because of the time, can we request Frida to present her part, and then when Wangari joins in, then she can present.
Thank you. That's fine. So, Madam Frida, kindly take over.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Unfortunately, I've muted most of them. Good morning. Proceed, please.
Okay, that's all. My name is Frida Marete Macharia, Mrs. I'm the CEO and lead agribusiness expert at Kachubari Farm Produce, and also the co-founder, Agrotunnel International Limited. Now, I'm excited to be part of this team. And I'll say in Agrotunnel International, what we normally do, we provide greenhouses to small scale farmers and all the other stakeholders in the value chain. We also provide hydroponic fodder machines for the livestock production. That is a feed that is hydroponically grown. It has a 6 days cycle. We have those machines. We also train our farmers in partnership with the agricultural universities in East Africa and West Africa. And after now, those are some of the products that Agrotunnel has. We also organize the agricultural tours, that is B2B, across Africa. for farmers to borrow reef or the exchange programs. Now, after the agro tunnel now provides the greenhouses, Kachubari takes over. That is where now I'm the managing director, because the most important thing in agribusiness is for the farmer to be able to get back whatever they plow in the project. So in Kachubari Farm Produce, what we do, we start from the agronomy of the crop. Even before we go to the agronomy, we start with the testing of the soils, testing of the waters, to ensure that the media that is holding the crop has the right nutrients, and if there are any pathogens, then we are able to guide the farmer or do the correction for that. So after that, then we are able to manage the crop for the farmers. We monitor the project until the market is ready. The crop is ready for the market. So we give links to farmers where they can be able to sell the produce. In other cases, we also buy back the produce and resell or export. So if we talk about agribusiness now and value addition, there are so many crops that can be grown in these structures and be able to benefit the farmer. Currently at Kachubari Farm Produce, we are working with the spices and herbs. Having been in the horticulture sector for the last 10 years and working with horticulture all that time through, the COVID has taught me something: herbs and spices. Because you remember now, everybody, we were told take spices, take herbs, and in Africa or in Kenya, mostly as we are not doing that as compared to our friends in India. So we have ventured into turmeric production and garlic production in Kenya. So we are looking for farmers who are able to produce this crop. Then we value and Kiridi is incubating us as we are talking. Then we export the same crop to either outside or even the local market. The market is huge, but we'll need the hand from the financials now, because you know every farmer wants to ask a question: who will fund me for this project? So that is the part that will go to most of our partners now. We have the farmers on board, and we need you to come and back them up when it comes to the finance. Now, going back to the presentation that my friend has done, Pratika has done from India, as Kachubari, we have felt is very important to partner with them when it comes to the vertical or rooftop production. AgroTunnel has been setting up these kitchen gardens. One of the kits we have is the vertical gardens, which we call the planting bags. We have one that has 100 holes at a cost of 1,000 shillings. This is what we have been supplying our farmers after the COVID. There has been a huge demand. Then also we have the mini greenhouses we have also been providing our farmers. But the third one now we want to venture into and capitalize on it is the Indian model. Because in Kenya, as we have been doing the conventional way, we have not been venturing into, for the 10 years, we have not been practicing organic. We have been doing the conventional way of production. But after we have met our friends, and coincidentally, this is the place in Jaipur where I also went to do my training when I entered into agribusiness, because also prior I was not in the agribusiness sector. I was working with the Institute of Fundraising and Direct Marketing. I also worked with the Gitobi Manyara and Company Advocates. But from 2007, after the crashes, having been blocked in Western, I left my job and started now practicing the agribusiness. And this is the place I've been, and I've settled in, and I'll never move out of this place, because I've seen the fruits, also being my own boss for this long. and even getting to help other farmers to change people from doing the agriculture the way, you know, when our parents or our grandparents do agriculture is known for business. It's like food security. So we have, I have been excited to be in this part, and our current now motto or our current emphasis is on the Indian model, because this model, as you have seen our friend has indicated, is they're using organic, which we need for our health. They are also using hydroponics. Hydroponics now is where we use a different media, that is the soilless farming now. Our soils in Kenya have been contaminated. There are a lot of aflatoxins, that is after you do your crops, now you get all these challenges. Ions have been down, and we have discovered, if you compare our soils even with our friends here in Uganda, since we are in a arid and semi-arid climate, we can't be able to beat them. We have been importing a lot of produce out there. Now, with this kit of Pratik, we want to import several containers here to be able to create jobs for our youth, and also to be able to help the women, or like me, I'm a woman in the house. We have been having the children this time round. So we have been spending a lot of money. Like I speak also, I have a kitchen garden now, but before I didn't have the kitchen garden after the COVID. So we have seen a skit is very important, and we need to borrow a reef. But then we'll need our financials who are on board in this meeting to join us again for another meeting, where we will be able to discuss how we can be able to be financed, or how they can be able to finance the youth and women in these groups to import these kits for our youths here, and then the women for, that is job creation, that is one, you know, and also for them to be able to eat healthy. We have been having a lot of issues taking people to cancer, cancer cases to India. All of you know about it. So I don't have much, but if I can be able to mention a few companies that I've seen them do very well when it comes variation, and which we have also been training our farmers. We will be working in that kitchen garden. We can work with herbs and spices, and we will be concentrating on the turmeric when it comes to the spice, and also the garlic. We will also be able to work with the mint, thyme, you know them, oregano, and rosemary, which we already have the market, because once we do the herbs, we value hunt them using our solar greenhouses, where we dry the leaves and then we blend them with maybe, for example, the tea, or even for our spices in the kitchen. For the turmeric, we are using it for food also, for those who want to cut the weight, and also for beauty. That is what has ladies we apply in the face to become beautiful, so that the men can be able to admire us and see we are browner. You see, in Africa, we are black and we want to be brown a bit. So these are some of the things we are using. Also, there is a vegetable production. If we talk of Maize Funds Eldoret, you'll see they are doing a lot of value addition when it comes to traditional ranges, Terere, Managu, and Woraview. That is the same concept we want now. Once we have these kits, we value and our produce, so that even if we have excess, we can be able to store them for future. But in Kachubari, what we do, we have been doing what we call basket delivery, where we take orders from tall buildings in the city. That is, for example, KRA Nation Center, the banks. You take the holders, then we have the delivery, people doing the deliveries. And the demand has been very high. So I know we'll not even have very much to value earned, but we have that room now. In case we have excess of this, we can dry our herbs or dry our vegetables, then we can be able to whatever. We also have a crop like strawberry, which has a very huge market, and nobody has been able to meet this demand. We, you know, True Foods do validation. That is how we end up having the tomato sauce from the tomatoes, and also the jam. Then we have people like Meru Greens. Meru Greens, they do the validation. They can the beans. So I do not want our youth to produce the French beans like our grandparents and sell as a fresh produce. We want them to produce these French beans, sugar snaps, then we will take them to these factories. They see the way validation is being done. Then now we partner with the bank to be able to facilitate the processing or facilitate, give us the resources that we need so that we can go to that step further. Because if you look at that can, one can of the French beans is being sold at 2,000 shillings, but the fresh material, the fresh sugar snaps, it's being sold at 30 shillings or 40 shillings. That's why now our youth don't love it at all. Look at the fruits at pineapples. We have a lot of farmers in Gatanga who have borrowed the leaf from Del Monte. Del Monte do the canning. They export their cans at a very, very high cost. They don't even sell those pineapples in Kenya. But you see our farmers in Gatanga, they are selling at 50 shillings, whereas Del Monte is selling at 2,000 plus one can out there. Even locally here is too expensive, it's 1,000 plus. So we want to borrow these technologies which we can be able to make more money, and then it makes sense, because for our youth to be able to conduct agribusiness, it has to make sense. They need to see the money. In fact, the question they say, they are like, show us the money. We don't want to touch the soil, then we can't make any money at all. Look at a crop like potatoes. These kids, we can be able also to do potatoes there. We have Gaiafuns who are in Kawasukari. What they are doing, they're doing validation of these potatoes. They slice them, they sell to you once they are ready for cooking. They supply people like Java at an extra cost of about 200 shillings a kilo, whereas a kilo of potato you'll buy at 50 shillings or 60 shillings. So we need to go the value addition way to be able to make more sense to our youth who are energetic and they are willing to be able to learn from us. We are here ready to teach them how to do, but also we need our financials to come on board. I believe this meeting, we have the stakeholders from the financial, that is the ones who are supposed to give us these loans, and we can be able to at least achieve our vision at the end of the day. So I do not have much for now because of time. I'll hand over to Edwin. But we have all these technologies, we have all the knowledge as it pertains all these things here in the country. And we have felt it's very important we partner with India so that we can be able to borrow reef and then we become also interdependent. We have the market that has not been tapped in Kenya, especially for herbs and spices, and also for things like seedlings. The way they are being done out there is different from the way we do it here. So thank you for your time. I don't have much because I know we have so many people also would love to ask questions. Thank you. Back to Edwin.
Thank you, Frida. That was wonderful, very resourceful. And on behalf of my client, Grace Tuku, on the platform, she says you need to come up with a directory of all those value addition service providers, share it, the list, and probably the contacts of all these people in Kawasukari, Meru Greens, Njoro Canning, so that our youth also can also try to come up with very nice negotiation agreements or contracts with this major value addition. Let's just call them aggregators. So kindly prepare just a directory of your contact list. I know you have a lot of them, which we will share to this group. I believe every one of us will leave their email addresses, and we will also share in the various WhatsApp groups that we are in. Thank you so much. Oliver, can you confirm whether Madam Wangare managed to join? Otherwise, I want to leave it for question and answer before we do the last presentation.
Sorry, sorry, share with us. Let me take back chair, and I would like Edwin Adenya to present. He's part of what he's expecting in the NGO world, in Africa.
Okay. Thank you so much, Oliver. Yeah, I've seen a request in the chat box to share the recordings. Yes, we will share the recordings to everyone. We'll even give you a link. We might even post it on one of our YouTube channels so that you can access it with ease. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share my screen. Oops, I'm starting on, thank you. I believe it's visible to everyone. Oliver, can you confirm?
Yes, it is visible to everyone.
Thank you. I've been
Yes, visible.
I've been working in the civil society or the NGO world for the last 15 years.
Yes, visible. Just put this.
Okay, let me use the PowerPoint, sorry. Let me use the PowerPoint. I believe that one is better. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the topic today. Remember the topic today, or the theme today, is how we can make urban agriculture work for our youth and to a large extension the women. We have been looking at a particular partnership sector, and that is the NGOs. Most people will call them civil society organizations. Others will call them a public benefits organization. We will want to see an enhanced role. For the case of Kenya, we are having the Ministry of Agriculture piloting these kitchen gardens, and they have set up a very nice demo farm at Kilimo House. However, the trickle down and the cascading to the counties has not taken place. And this is because simply there's a missing link that can be harnessed to ensure that all these benefits reach out to everybody in Mandera, in Kwale, in Turkana. So in general, most NGOs activities will include and are not limited to a lot of environmental work, social work, human rights work, and most of the time they tend to promote social and political change from a regional level, even to a broader national platform. And most of the time they play a critical role in developing the society, improving the communities, and giving the people who have their voice cannot be heard, giving them a platform to express themselves, coming up with case studies, news stories. That's what they basically do. But in the context of what you want to promote, based on this nice presentation that has come from Dr. Pratik and Madam Frida, we look at different roles that NGOs can play. And most of them are basically, since they're already in touch with the communities, particularly the urban communities. Kibera, for example, has almost 1,600 registered NGOs working with the community. And I think the whole area does not go beyond, 3,000 acres of land, but we have 1,600 NGOs working there. So we will want to see more of livelihood and enhancement. Frida mentioned a little bit of value addition. As we produce these vegetables, Dr. Pratik, we might not be having a lot of rooftops, particularly in the urban slums or in the urban areas, but there is a lot of space, particularly for backyard gardens. There's a lot of space behind community buildings, churches. So we can also adapt the situation from the roof and still retain the ground, but enhance the productivity. NGOs also help in conservation. They conserve the local seed diversity. They also help in the promotion of the rights of indigenous people. So they play a crucial role there. And when it comes to sustainable production, they most of the time they are the ones who set up these pilots in community areas, in urban areas or in slums. And then these pilots, most of the time, either are scaled up by the private sector or government or even other international development bodies. They also help in training farmers. Most NGOs have their extension officers. They can give them motorbikes. They can give them vehicles for mobility. So they play a crucial role in bridging the gap in the extension that we are currently having. Like right now in Kenya, one extension officer is supposed to cover around 1,500 to 2,000 farmers. This is an unrealistic target if this person is supposed to spend at least 2 hours with a farmer. Honestly, in a year, even if he will be working, he or she will be working 24 hours a day, might not be able to meet that target. So they help bridge that capacity gap, especially in the training of farmers. And most of the time, some of them, or as a mode of practice, they create gender-sensitive environment that enhances women and youth leadership skills. So they raise up a platform to bring emerging leaders, and these leaders now become MCAs, become women representatives, and other change agents within the region. In addition to that, our NGOs help in skills development. You find a group that has been doing silk farming using a normal loom, then they will come and train them on how to come up with some automated or semi-automated looms and how to add the colors, to do dyeing. So these are things that most NGOs will bring because they might be out of reach of the common person. And not everybody, particularly in the urban areas, and in the informal settlements, not all of them have access to television, to YouTube videos where they can teach themselves. So they help in the bridging this particular resource gap. In terms of digital marketing of produce, we've seen a lot of communities, a lot of NGOs coming up with very nice computer applications. I subscribe to one called Mukulimayang, where we have now almost over 300,000 subscribers in East Africa. Young people selling produce to one another, be they seedlings, be they strawberries, apples, and we are finding a market niche that we'll never have found if we were going to the normal market and just displaying our produce there. A group in Bondo the other day just sold Sim Sim to a group in Meru that is doing value addition. They will never have met were it not for Mukulimayang. And then, so they create awareness in terms of different government schemes. We have this Enable Youth program. Most youth do not know how they are going to apply for these small grants, but NGOs will go behind the scenes, find out what is the application procedure, who qualifies. Then they try and target some of the critical lead farmers or lead urban youth who can apply for this and probably get that funding. Finally, they engage a lot in policy dialogues, particularly for policy analysis and policy research. Most governments in Africa, they tend to rely so much on policy formulation before they act. They will say, oh, this one has to be covered under policy. We need to approve urban gardening. 5 to 20 years ago, it was illegal even to have chicken in an urban area. But now the policy rules are being relaxed as a result of the dialogue and the advocacy by these NGOs. And so finally, just a quick quip is to also inform you that NGOs continue to nurture community participation, especially areas where people are either hostile to the government or they do not want to express their views because they feel marginalized. At times they find a a safe place within the NGOs to talk about it, and then it'll end up even to the government and to other political leaders to look at the plight of these marginalized or these other affected people. And they also harness local knowledge systems. There's a lot of local innovations, but our farmers don't know how to patent their innovations, their discoveries. So a few NGOs like Kabi, I will say, has been on the forefront of trying to document this and even to go behind the innovation itself and give it a scientific background or a backup. So there's a lot which they can do. And what I've not mentioned is the issue of financing. And I think that is the elephant in the room. Because yes, we have loans, we have grants, but our young people, 18 to 35, cannot easily access these loans. They don't have collateral. One, they don't have a regular income source. And at times somebody wants to see the bank statements for 2 years, for 3 years, it becomes a challenge. So this is something, the elephant in the room, that we really need to discuss on how we can ensure our young people get these opportunities. I believe if you give $500 to a young person to do this backyard garden you are seeing here, within a year, this young person will have paid back that $500, even with an interest rate that is higher than the commercial bank rate. Thank you. Back to Oliver.
Thank you very much, Edwin. Sorry, we are having a challenge on our Wi-Fi this side. In case we drop out, please just take charge. That is very, very good input coming from the NGO world. Many people think NGO just come in and give free things. We have heard what NGO does, so that we don't look at this enterprise as NGO is coming in to bring in free. Here, because we are private sector, we want to instill in the mindset of everybody that this is a business we are into and we're entering. Now, I believe Wangari, if she's in, she can send a message if she's on to present her part. But in any case, if she's not in right now on this meeting, we can proceed. I will just give a brief presentation and verbal on what Mr. Pratik had mentioned about the City Fresh. We run a company called M Advisory Africa, and we've got the Agri Extension Service and Support Service using ICT. And we're going to incorporate the ICT with that model of Uber for distribution of vegetables, and so that when you have your app, the app can do a geolocation and will locate the farmer and also locate the vendor. So that one we will share on the next meeting, but I will request everybody who has posted questions, we will like to see if we can answer them. But if Wangari is ready, she can come on board.
For the rest of us, if you have a question, just raise your hand. There's a way under, if you're using a cell phone, the 3 dots under more. Down there, you'll see raise your hands. If you're using a tablet or a laptop, you can see it down there under after participants. Or even on your name, you can raise your hand using your name.
I believe perhaps Wangari is missing in this meeting. You know, we had another account of WebEx, so perhaps it's unfortunate she might be missed. So I don't know if Edwin, you can guide us on the chat box on the questions that have come through, and we request Mr. Pratik if there's any for him to answer, or if there's any for Frida to answer, so that we can, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we close the meeting.
Well, most of the requests are to share the presentations, and also Dr. Pratik has shared a number of resources on their website and the Facebook page and the YouTube. So we actually don't have questions apart from this one from Daisy. I'd like to know if the portable units are already available in Kenya. So this is to you, Oliver and Dr. Pratik.
Okay, thank you very much, Daisy, for that question. We are going to make them available. We are working on the logistics because remember in Kenya, everything that is imported goes with tax, and every agriculture is tax-free. But it's always said tax-free, but we normally pay tax for everything that is imported. So that we're still working on the costing so that we come up with a cost that is favorable for everybody. Because right now, as we wait for the NGO to support the youth groups, we are also working with the Equity Bank Foundation to see if they can support the youth with the startup capital. So that's the basis of our first meeting today. But the subsequent meeting that we're going to have for individual investment, we will post our WhatsApp group, and then we'll invite you for a one-to-one meeting and understand you, because we need to customize your investment, because there are people who will want to invest 50,000, they will want to invest 100,000, there are people who will want to invest 20,000. So everybody has got a different model, and we will show what are you investing in and what are you getting back, return on investment. So that will be in individual, and we will share our email address so that you can we can send you invites and you can send us queries, and then we can respond to that. So Mr. Pratik, I don't know if you have anything to add in before we invite one from the audience to say something or some reaction.
Thank you, Oliver. Yes, I would like to inform this August group that we are working very closely with Oliver and his team with the intention of finally coming down to very specific numbers, which we can then subsequently share with different stakeholders, uh, including NGOs and CSR teams of various corporations. Uh, we hope that um, within the next couple of days, we would be able to have very, very crisp and clear numbers related to the cost of the product, the availability of the product, and how this whole idea shall be executed. We would also like to create very specific presentation for specific stakeholders, for NGOs, for even for the government. So we are right now, my team and Oliver's team, we are working very closely. Um, Unfortunately, for the next 1 or 2 days, the whole of India would be celebrating Diwali. So not much work will be done today and tomorrow, but we hope that we'll be able to pick up pace from Monday. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Pratik. So members, this is your opportunity. Raise your hand and we'll give you the opportunity to share your comments or concerns or sentiments.
Edwin, if I may share a small observation from India with the rest of the group. Could I do that in a quick 1 minute?
Please do proceed.
Thank you, Edwin. While working on the concept of urban organic farming with the government and with large corporations here in India, we realized that uh, besides offering, besides creating opportunities for skill development and employment generation for the urban unemployed youth, we also have felt that this can be used as an option for doing skill development for even for the women from the weaker section of the society. So, and that's the reason why in India we are connecting not just with NGOs who are working on job creation for the young people. We're also working with NGOs who are focused on women empowerment. So that's an important observation that I wanted to make to share with the group here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pratik, on that. We look forward to all this information. So our participants, I'm still trying to look for any raised hand. There isn't. Maybe just take over the mic. If you can't raise the hand, just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, and it's unfortunate they will want perhaps to join into the next meeting. So we will like to invite you guys for the next meeting on the 21st, on the next Saturday. And now for that one, it will be closed invitation for people who are interested to invest. So if you are interested, you can send your request through WhatsApp, the number that will be posted on the screen on the chat box. So I don't know if Edwin, you can capture that and you share the number, the WhatsApp number.
Yes.
And then
okay.
Then we can get a reaction from any member. I can see Peter Waga in Tanzania. I can see Michelle in Kenya. Can you say something? Your reaction, we would like to hear some response from you. And also Ingrid, sorry, not Ingrid, Daisy Nyaga. So if you can give your reaction, we would like to hear from you.
Thank you, Oliver. This is Daisy. I would say that was a great presentation. And I would say that the model has the potential to change a lot of lives, not just for the farmers, not just for the organic farmer, but also for the consumer. Because as we said, people are suffering from a lot of side effects of eating food that has been grown with a lot of pesticides. So I really look forward to actually seeing these implemented, and I'm willing to take up a unit on trial or several. And just as I've chatted somebody, I also work with a microfinance bank, and I would be open to considering some financing packages for the youth who would like to take these up. But again, it's all dependent on how the return on investment looks like. If they're able to really meet, and if they're able to really pay up for the costs from the proceeds, then I would be open up to champion that and come up with some packaging, some financing packages for these units. So thank you, and back to you, Oliver.
Maybe to interject, Madam Daisy. Thank you so much. I'll be sharing a report by FAO. They did on the urban study market for vegetables during the time of COVID. And it is a very promising report. So I don't know whether it is up for normal dissemination, but I will find out and share it to the team. There is a lot of opportunity that we can now tap into, particularly on urban farming. There's a lot of vegetables coming from Kisii, from Kakamega, from Meru, but by July, people had started planting their own. So when it got to September, a cabbage from Karatina could only sell at 6 bob or 10 shillings. People were already planting their own. So it's something that we can really, out of this crisis, COVID, we can be able to revolutionize our food security, particularly in urban areas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We have got a young man who is very active in a kitchen garden selling bags. It's called Samuel Buru. I don't know if he can give his reaction.
Well, thank you very much, Oliver. Thank you, Pratik and Edwin, for the wonderful chance to get to hear the innovative rooftop design and model that is working for India. In response, I think one of the things that we've been working as a company known as EcoShades is providing kitchen gardening solutions for smallholder and urban farmers, majorly within Nairobi region. The model has worked well so far, and I think one of the things that we're looking forward to is that we might be able to collaborate even in terms of getting this model that is from India adopted into Kenya. And we're looking forward to hear the results and maybe the cost benefit analysis of doing the rooftop design as vis-a-vis to what we're doing currently in Kenya, for the vertical bag gardening. Thank you so much for that. I think that's maybe all I can say for now. Over to you, Oliver.
Okay, thank you very much. We would like to listen to a farmer. I believe Michelle, you can say something. You're a very active farmer in urban Nairobi. I think, Michelle, if you cannot mute yourself, we are joined by Peter Waga in Tanzania. I believe you can say something. You're also an urban farmer in Nairobi and Tanzania, I believe.
Members, you can just unmute yourself as you do your presentation, or as you make your comments.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe because people are muted, we will invite you to the next meeting. We have already posted the WhatsApp number for you to request the next meeting. And you can also communicate with Edwin on more planning. What Mr. Pratik mentioned, which is very, very clear, and I would like him to repeat before we do the closing remarks, that we're going to be working with soilless media. So that one should come out clear. I'd like Mr. Pratik to come back with the closing remarks, and also we close after Pratik talks. We will close the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oliver. I would like to make two submissions here. My first submission is that we must appreciate the difference between the cost of vegetable production as compared to when we are growing it in soil and when we are growing it in a soilless medium on the rooftop. Please remember that the vegetables that we have been consuming in the market on a regular basis, those vegetables have been grown by a farmer in soil. And please remember, the soil does not cost anything to the farmer. But when we move on to an urban organic farming model, we have to create a new soil, which we call the soilless organic medium. And there is a cost attached to it. So under no circumstances should we ever have this wrong assumption that the cost of production of vegetables in urban organic farming would be less than the cost of production on land. The cost of vegetable production in urban farming cannot be less than the cost of vegetable production in land. My other submission is I have been reading a lot of documents, have been reading a lot of websites. I'm very excited to see that the governments, the NGOs in Africa are taking very proactive steps to promote kitchen gardening. But I'm also, I would like to put a word of caution here that the kind of models that are being followed before we go for a large scale propagation of a model. My word of caution to the NGOs and to the governments would be that it should be a scientifically robust product. It should be a tried and tested product. What I would definitely not want is that so much amount of positive enthusiasm related to urban farming, related to kitchen gardening, all of it should not fall flat just because we are trying to create makeshift products and primitive products. So, and that's where Living Greens, along with AgroTunnel International and Kachumari Farms, would like to step in and offer a scientifically robust product that has been tried and tested in multiple agroclimatic zones in India for the past 8 years. Thank you very much. I'm extremely grateful for Oliver, for Edwin, for giving this opportunity to me to share my dream, to share my experiences and my observation. And I would like to uh, um, leave with the sincere prayer that the dream that our little team saw 8 years ago in India, I would sincerely pray that it should become a universal dream, and a lot of eminent, enthusiastic people like all of you would become a part of that dream. Thank you very much, Oliver and Edwin. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Pratik, happy Diwali, and back to Edwin to close the meeting.
Well, I want to thank you, all the participants, for your dedication and commitment. We've done 1.5 hours. It was supposed 1 and 45 minutes. It was supposed to be 1.5 hours. And I will share the recordings. Either you leave your email address or you register on that WhatsApp line we've sent to you. We should be able to share the email and the presentation and any other useful information, particularly from Dr. Pratik. He has a lot of information that we really need to harness, and we really need to go through to get acquainted to urban farming. So I just want to say thank you so much for your participation. This was the first time. We made a mistake by calling it on WebEx first, and when we discovered we had a problem with WebEx, we quickly resolved to Zoom. So the next meeting will still be on Zoom, and then we will proceed from there. So thank you. Have a good day and all the best. Bye for now.